Mm, I don't remember that it somehow happened. I felt like during the fight, every time he was pushing or stepping back, and sometimes I was against it, I was stopping. I always expect from my opponents that they want to make hurt as much as they can. Nothing new.
Yeah. What's your game plan? As much as you won't give too much away, what are you going to do to try and nullify Artur this time round?
Just need to be better. I cannot tell you what I'm gonna do exactly.
Were you upset? Were you sad? Angry?
Not too much. I didn't like it, of course, but then I just switched off that feelings.
Just like that. The coldest man in
I don't remember that it somehow happened. I felt like during the fight every time he was pushing or stepping back, and sometimes I was against it. I was stopping. Dmitry Bivol has declared that his upcoming rematch with Artur Beterbiev is not just about the world titles but about seeking revenge for the closely contested loss in their first fight. I always expect from my opponents that they want to make hurt as much as they can. Nothing new. Yeah, push your game plan as much as you won't give too much away. What are you going to do to try and nullify Ara this time round? Just need to be better. I cannot tell you what they're going to do exactly. Val has made it clear that his upcoming rematch with Artur Beterbiev on February 22nd in Saudi Arabia is not just about the world titles. Ball, who fought Beterbiev last October in a closely contested match, has emphasized that his main focus this time is revenge. In that first fight, many including Ball's team felt he had done enough to win, but the judges awarded the victory to Beterbiev by narrow margins. Reflecting on that loss, Ball admitted that while he once solely sought the belts, his perspective has shifted. This time he is not only chasing the titles, he is determined to avenge the outcome of their first encounter. Were you upset? Were you sad? Angry? Not too much. I didn't like it, of course, but then I just switched all that feelings. Just look. That the coldest man in boxing. Ball's manager Vadim Kornov also believed his fighter had done enough to win the first fight. While acknowledging Beterbiev's strong performance, Kornella pointed out that one judge's decision seemed to be completely off, which added to the frustration. He said it was a very close fight and nothing to take away from Artur Beterbiev. He did a really good job. There's no doubt the fight was close. I was more upset about one of the decisions. One of the judges seemed to be completely off, and that was more upsetting. However, Kornov believes that the past is behind them, and now Val has another opportunity to prove he is the best light heavyweight in the world. It is an opportunity for Ball to take the spotlight and claim the titles in his own right. He further added, it doesn't matter what the judges did on October 12th, because now is the opportunity for every boxer to make a point and prove they're the undisputed champion in the light heavyweight division. On the other hand, Artur Beterbiev remains confident. Heading into the rematch, the four-belt champion is focused on maintaining his undisputed status and keeping his titles, but was unfazed by Ball's desire for revenge, stating that he would be ready to face whatever comes his way. He mentioned that if Ball wants revenge, it is not a problem for him. For Beterbiev, the main goal is to improve upon his performance from the first fight and to be better in every aspect as the rematch draws closer. Boxing experts are offering their insights on how the fight might unfold. Canelo Alvarez recently shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, calling it a great fight. He acknowledged both fighters' skill levels, emphasizing that it would be an exciting matchup. Once again, when asked about the possibility of fighting in the light heavyweight division again, Canelo didn't dismiss the idea. While he didn't provide a definitive answer, he expressed that he remained open to taking on new challenges at that weight class in the future. And just one more for Maya, the rematch. What a great fight that is in SA. How do you see that playing out? It's going to be a really good fight again. Both are great fighters, and do you see yourself fighting a light heavyweight again? Maybe. David Benovitz also weighed in on the previous encounter between Bivol and Beterbiev, stating that he believed Ball had won the fight, although it was a close contest. Vows felt that Ball controlled most of the rounds with his combination punching. Looking ahead to the rematch, Benovitz expressed confidence that Bivol could come out victorious again. He acknowledged, however, that both fighters are top tier and might make adjustments for the second fight. While he wasn't sure if it would play out the same way, he believed that if the fight unfolded similarly, Bivol would prevail once more. I thought Ball won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went not couldn't have went either way. I felt like Ball won most of the rounds. We were controlled most of the rounds and his combination. Punching was better. Do you think he wins the rematch? I think he does. Yeah, is it different, or do you think it's more? I mean, I don't know, because both those fighters are both high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the same fight or not, but if it's the same fight, I feel like Bol wins. The father of David Ben Abds, Jose Ben Aids Sr., praised Beria for his destructive power, calling him a monster in the ring. However, he also gave credit to Bivol for his impressive win over Canelo Alvarez, which he felt didn't receive enough recognition. Benavides Sr. expressed surprise at Bol's performance against BBF, admitting he initially thought Bivol would be knocked out. He ultimately expressed admiration for both fighters, noting that regardless of the outcome, they were both elite champions. He also hinted that it would be an honor for his son to face either of them in the future. It's a monster. He's a monster, but like I said, Bivol has been changing my mind since I saw him beat Canelo. Nobody really gave him that credit. Nobody even remembers that he beat Canelo. He never got the recognition, but then he f's better beef, and I thought he was going to get knocked out, to be honest with you, and I was surprised, like what, and so now, I'm a big fan of both. Like I said, it don't matter who wins or who loses. At the end of the day, these two are great fighters, and it will be an honor to one day face one of these two big monsters. Reflecting on the first fight, Sergey Kovalov stated that he believed Bol had won, scoring it 7-5 in Bol's favor. Kovalov suggested that Bivol would be more confident going into the rematch and predicted that Bivol would come out victorious this time around. Kovala also hinted that the rematch could set up a potential trilogy between the two fighters, suggesting that a third fight might be in the future. He said, I think the last fight Bol had 7 rounds against 5 for Baya. He will be more confident for the rematch. He get the victory, and then there will be a third fight trilogy coming up. Frank Warren talked up the rematch between Bivol and BBV, describing it as a showdown between the two best light heavyweights in the world. He praised their previous fight, highlighting the high level of skill both men displayed. Warren expressed great excitement for the rematch, stating that fans could expect another thrilling battle between the two, with the outcome potentially having a significant impact on the division. What would your pick out be? Obviously the bigman at Betel Bivol. The rematch, well, it's a great fight. The two best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch. That's going to be a great fight. Clifton Mitchell initially thought Bol had won the first fight when watching it live. However, after reviewing it on television, he said he could understand why BBV was awarded the victory. Mitchell explained that while Bivol did well in many aspects, he seemed uncomfortable in the ring and many of his punches were blocked by BBV. Despite this, Mitchell was confident in BV's abilities and predicted a win for him in future matchups, particularly if the rematch played out similarly. Yeah, I think I'm going to go me and Scott W. going to go well. Finally, what's your prediction on that? Though when I was there I thought Blee won. When I was there watching the fight I thought he won. I watched on telly and I can see why they gave it Toya. I can see what they give it him, but there, because Bivol did it, but he did it like very uncomfortably, if you know what I mean. And there I think he was catching a lot on his hands and his gloves as well. So yeah, we'll do that after. I'm definitely going back with Pia. Bob Santos also expressed his excitement for the rematch, expecting another closely contested battle between the two Russian fighters. He believed that the rematch would likely play out similarly to the first encounter. He said, I think it's going to be very similar to the first fight, although again this is boxing and anybody could get hit with something that turns the fight around. However, Santos acknowledged the unpredictable nature of boxing, noting that a single punch could change the course of the fight. He further added, so unless one of them can land a big shot on the other one to really kind of get them in trouble or wane during the fight, I think it'll be much more as it went the first time. And then it's just going to come down to what the judge is like. Gareth A. Davies shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch, predicting that Bivol would have an advantage in terms of speed and intelligence, although he mentioned that Roy Jones Jr. supported BBF during his UK tour. Davies believed Bol's sharper boxing would lead him to victory. He even speculated that the fight could stretch into an extended bout, possibly going into the later rounds in 2025, as both fighters would need to be at their best to secure a win, even though Roy Jones Jr. is telling Art Bet BEF on his tour of the UK at the moment. You got to go in there and smash him this time. I think Bivol be faster, smarter this time, and they'll end up going into round 25 in another 6 months' time, maybe in September, October 2025. Chris G expressed his enthusiasm for the entire fight card, acknowledging the importance of the